Welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm Hannah Blackwell and it's that time of month again. Let's play another round of Once Upon a TBR. So besides playing Once Upon a TBR game, I also am going to be using some additional prompts to decide my April TBR, and that is because Cassidy from Covers with Cassidy is once again hosting another round of Realmathon, and I am really excited to participate this year. I am on Team Cyrus, which is the romance team. Go Team Cyrus. I just cannot wait to get into April and start all of the fun Realmathon action. If you don't know what Realmathon is, I'm going to go ahead and have Covers with Cassidy's announcement video linked down in the description so you can check it out, join if you want to. I'm also going to have all of my social media linked down below in the description as well in case you want to follow me on Goodreads, Instagram, or Twitter. If you haven't already subscribed, I would love to have you do so, and don't forget to click the like button. It really helps my channel grow. If you are participating in Realmathon, I would love for you to comment down below and let me know what team you are on, especially if it's Team Cyrus. But really, it's just going to be a lot of fun. I'd also love to know which one of these books you think I should read first. I mean, I already know which one I kind of have to read first because I'm on a deadline at this point to get to a certain JLA book, but let's just go ahead and get into these rolls. Okay, so I found my crystal quartz wand again, and so I'm going to use that and hope it brings me good luck for these rolls. And we'll just go ahead and do roll number 1. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I added a few more prompts to the stones jar just because I do have more stones on the board than any other jar prompts. So okay, cozy. Okay, so roll 1 gave us cozy. For each of these books, I'm going to try to let you guys know some of the prompts I'm going to be using for my Realmathon points, and I'm not going to go through everything because I don't want it to take forever. But for cozy, I do think I'm going to be reading The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. This is by Sangu Mandana, and I've been wanting to get to this for a long time. It's a cozy fantasy romance about a witch who's supposed to be kind of in hiding, keeping her abilities secret because witches aren't supposed to be known about. She gets invited to help train some younger witches at this house, and there is possibly like a romance between this curmudgeon librarian and her, and I hear it is like the house and the Cerulean Sea meets practical magic, and that sounds like the perfect combination, and I cannot wait to get to this one. So I'm going to be hopefully gaining 54 points for Team Cyrus with this one. I can pick up points for its page count, its genre. It is a hybrid genre. It's got cursive on the cover, which gets me points. This is also a new to me author, and I can spell my name on the cover. And there are moon and stars on the cover, meaning that there are sources of light on the cover, so that gives me points too. Roll number 2. That's a 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Stones. And featuring politics. Okay, so for roll number 2, I landed on stones again, and it looks like I've got featuring politics. I have not yet got to A Crown of Gilded Bones, and at this point I have like a week and a half to get to this before the live show, so I definitely need to pick it up. This is actually the March pick. I have to read them right before the live show. I might also need to get the next book in our series, the first prequel book of the series, on my April TBR too, because that is technically the April pick. I'm going to have the live shows and schedules and stuff down below in the description for you so that you can follow along if you want to read along with us. I am reading this with my friends Tori, Jess, and Isa, and we're just having a really good time with our read along. This is the 3rd book in the From Blood and Ash series, where we follow this maiden who is never to be seen, never to be touched, and it becomes this epic fantasy saga with a really hot romance, and it's just a lot of fun and adventure. I'm really enjoying it. and I cannot wait to get to this one. Let's hope these rolls keep being nice to me. This is going to be giving me a lot of points for the page count, but it's also going to be giving me extra points as a hybrid genre. It's also giving me extra points as my own realms genre, which is romance. I can spell my name on the cover with an H, an A, and an N right up there. And this also has some mental health rep and is a buddy read as well. So those are all my points together, and this book is going to get me a total of 61 points for my team. Roll number 3. 7 again. 1, oops, wrong way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I am going all the way back. I hit a dragon again, which means dragon jar. So not off to a great start, I guess. Now I have to pick a book from the dragon jar and start all over again. Oh God, no. I mean, I want to read this book, but just not this month. To Sleep in the Sea of Stars. Okay.
I have no words.
Okay. I see how it is. I see how it is. This is just not what I wanted. This is not what I wanted to read for Realmathon.
Here's my apology. And you're not getting one.
Granted, the page count alone should give me, like, some good points. And I technically did say I wanted to read more sci-fi this year, and this book is technically on my 23 books to read in 2023, but did I want to read this in April? No. No, I did not. Without a doubt, this is the most intimidating book on my TBR. I don't read a lot of sci-fi. I don't think I've ever read a sci-fi that was this long. This is almost 900 pages. So I guess here we go. So this says, during a routine survey mission on an uncolonized planet, Kira finds an alien relic. At first, she's delighted, but elation turns to terror when the ancient dust around her begins to move. As war erupts among the stars, Kira is launched into a galaxy-spanning odyssey of discovery and transformation. First contact isn't at all what she imagined, and events push her to the very limits of what it means to be human. So it's a first contact story. I think the next book in this expanded universe by Christopher Paolini is coming out this year. I know there was a whole bunch of controversy about the cover. I remember that. So we will see if I like this. I hope I do. I'm just really nervous. And now I have to start all over on the board too. So starting all over again. Roll number 4. Oh, that's good. At least a 9. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Stones again. It's like I get dragons or stones. Maybe I should have made even more prompts for this jar. I don't know. Dark. Okay, so I'm back on stones again, and I got dark as my prompt. So dark can mean whatever I want it to mean. It can be like the cover, it can be the theme, it can be like a dark romance or a dark fantasy, it can be like something that is kind of horrific. However I want to interpret dark at that time that I pull it, that's how I can interpret it. And for this time, I'm going to interpret it as the cover. And this is obviously a dark cover. It's mostly black and with some brown. Of course, I'm on Team Cyrus, and so I want to be reading a lot of romance, but for some reason I'm in an epic fantasy mood. I do hope to get more romance on this TBR, but I also wanted to get some epic fantasy, and I really want to continue with the series before I forget too much of what happened with Grace of Kings, which I really, really liked. That was the first book in the series. So this is the second book, and it's basically about this dynasty and this empire that is going through civil war basically, and everyone has their different ideas of how things should be done. So very political. I would say like lower fantasy, but it's almost like a steampunk fantasy setup. But I hear things really kick off and get crazy in this book, and I'm really excited. Book 1, as with lots of fantasy series, treated itself like a prequel almost. But even more so than most books I've read, it was very prequel-esque. And I'm excited to see what happens next. I am going to be getting probably 40 points. Yeah, 40 points for the number of pages. This has a weather word on the cover for storm. I can definitely spell my name on the cover because there's an H right down here. There's an A. There's an N in Kenlu, so I can spell my name on the cover. It's gonna be at least 51 points. I might get more, I don't know, I have to look into it, but I think it's gonna be 51 points for this one. Roll number 5. Double 2, so I'm gonna roll this one more time, and got a 1, so I'm going 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice. That's a unicorn, so that's a mood read. So the board doesn't hate me all that bad, right? It gave me a mood read, and that was like, thank you. I really needed a mood read here, because there's a lot of books I feel like reading. Like, I feel like I'm going to get a lot of reading done in April, and so we'll see how that goes. I hope I do. Few options for mood read. Options include Africa Risen, which is a combination of a bunch of short stories that feature Africa and the African diaspora. And this is going to be our book club pick for Femmes Aficionados for April and May. I will most likely read this in May, but if I feel like picking it up early, I will do so. Got some great co-hosts, some guest hosts for this. We're going to have Daphne from Being Daphne and Locked Booktition on here as well, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Our live show is going to be in early May. I also could pick up the only book I actually didn't read that was on my TBR for March, other than A Crown of Gilded and Bones, because I'm waited purposely to read that until the beginning of April, but I didn't get to my Dragon Jar pick for March. This is a possibility. Finally, I have been dying to get to this book, and I hear really good things about it, and that's A Day of Fallen Night by Samantha Shannon. This is the prequel to A Priory of the Orange Tree. I have heard that Samantha Shannon improves upon some of her pacing issues that everyone kind of experienced with Priory of the Orange Tree, and I think that's awesome. I hear this is a step up, and I'm really excited because I gave Priory of the Orange Tree 4 stars. I really enjoyed it, but there was some pacing issues that even for me, it was just difficult, and I did feel like the ending was extremely rushed. But I hear that that is not the issue with this book, and it's very likely that this will be my mood read pick. I really want to read it. I really want to get to this one. Already calculated, and if I do pick this for my mood read, it's going to get me 55 points for Team Cyrus. But we all know that I am a mood reader, and so there's a large possibility that it could be any number of other books. Roll number 6. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Stones again. Featuring a romance. For roll 6, I landed on stones. Got the prompt features a romance, so that means I can fit another romance on this TBR. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and pick Sea of Ruin by Pam Godwin. I've been wanting to get to this book for a really long time, and it just looks like it's gonna be amazing. It is like getting into the season to read about pirates, warmer weather. Let's read some pirate books, you know, and this sounds like it's gonna be really good. It's gonna be a dark romance. From what I know, it's a dark historical romance, but it's very dark, very dark. From what I know, you definitely want to check trigger warnings before going into this, but it does sound like something that I would really enjoy. I don't know anything about it other than it is a pirate romance and that it's very dark. I don't know the plot, I don't know anything, and honestly, I really don't want to know anything else. This book would get me 52 points for Team Cyrus, so it should be a really good pick. Roll number 7. Come on, high number. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've got Elixir. fantasy. My prompt for this is fantasy genre, and I do have a few other fantasies that I've talked about this on this list, but other than the mood read, technically I only have one fantasy on my TBR. It is quite long, and so is To Sleep in the Sea of Stars, so I wanted to pick something that it's going to be a little bit more fast-paced and fun and not take a huge amount of time. So I picked Heart of the Sun Warrior by Sue Lynn Tan. This is the second book in this duology, so once I read this, I'll be done with the duology, which would be nice to finish out a series. And the first book follows the daughter of the moon goddess who is not really supposed to exist, and she almost gets caught, so she ends up basically leaving the moon and going down and getting entangled with the emperor's family like she's not supposed to do. That's who she's supposed to be hiding from. And it is a fantasy romance. There's a love triangle. There is really cool lore. I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. It's more plot driven, very YA feel of the writing style, but also at the same time, it's just a really good time. It's really fun and really enjoyable. The imagery is beautiful, and I really like Asian inspired fantasies. So I hope to enjoy this book as much. I'm really looking forward to seeing how things play out in this book because there was a lot of adventure and a lot happening in the first book. So I'm excited to see what happens next. So I get 61 points for this book, and I think it's a good pick. We're on roll number 8. 8. Okay, so we passed the dragon. We're gonna pass the dragon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Another stones. Open. Chilling. Okay, so I have landed on stones again, and my prompt is chilling. I'm getting towards the end, which is nice because I already have a lot of books on this TBR, and they are chunky. So, chilling, chilling, chilling. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and pick From Below by Darcy Coates for this one. This is Darcy Coates' water horror, and I really enjoyed Into the Drowning Deep by Mara Grant, which is a water horror book. And I think that this is going to give similar vibes. It says, years ago, during a routine voyage, the SS Arcadia vanished without a trace. Through a strange garbled emergency message was broadcast. Neither the ship nor its crew could be found. 60 years later, its wreck has finally been discovered, more than 300 miles from its intended course, a silent graveyard deep beneath the ocean's surface, eagerly waiting for the first sign of life. And it looks like this main character, Cove, and her dive team have been granted permission to explore the hull. Horror ensues from there. Darcy Coates writes cozy horror, and I'm really excited to see how this one goes. So, it looks like I should be able to get a good amount of points. I think this is going to be 30 points for the page count. There is a source of light on the cover here too, and I can spell my name on the cover just with this USA bestselling author. So there's an H and A and an N, and so I think this is going to be 42 points for the team, but I haven't checked the attack ones for this one, so I have to check that to see if I might switch it to attack instead. But I'm going for mostly defense because that's, I don't know, it just makes sense to me. I don't know. I think most of my mood reads, the stuff that comes up randomly in between all these books, those might be the attack books that I do. So I'm trying to keep my strategy quiet and not tell you what I'm going to attack with or who I'm going to attack. I think this is going to be a good one, and I am looking forward to it. Maybe it'll be my final roll, huh? Roll number 9. 8 again. Cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It is my last roll, and I landed on the castle, which means another mood read. Okay, we've landed on the castle. I have another mood read, which is so cool. I have a few books that I'm really interested in that I want to pick up. One is Forgotten Ghost by Cass Kay. It's the sequel to Legacy Witches. I love Legacy Witches. I gave it 5 stars, and I can't wait to read this sequel. It comes out at the end of April, but I have the arc to it, and I definitely do want to read that during April. And so that's a possibility for a mood read. I also want to read the sequel to Ravaged by Monsters. Devoured by Monsters is the sequel. And that's a Why Choose Monster romance series that I'm enjoying. And there's other options too. I don't know. I think I'm going to leave it pretty open. Oh, oh my god. These are the books that I have right here if I do read A Day of Fallen Night. And yeah, it's a lot. They're big. There's and I have a mood read too, but I'm probably going to keep that one short. I'm going to put these down now. So that was my TBR. I think the board could have been a little bit nicer to me. The prompts were good, but obviously I did hit a dragon and I'm reading the most intimidating book on my TBR now. And I'm nervous. I'm really nervous about that one. But I've heard good things. I hope it goes okay. We'll have to just wait and see. If you liked this video, go ahead and click the like button, comment down below, let me know what team are you on for Realmathon and which one of these books you want me to pick up first. All of my social media is linked down below in the description, including my Goodreads, Instagram, and Twitter. Until next time, fellow readers, keep reading and living your best life.
Stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away.